Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We are live. I'm going to check to see if we are live on
live.
Facebook, but I believe
Do
we
it.
are live.
Check it.
And I feel like I should have scaled that down
Yeah,
beforehand.
I'm checking my hair out
Oh,
on the
we
live
are
dingus right
live.
now. Snoochie Boochies.
Yeah.
Well, this is an exciting way to start.
No, yeah, like, huh? What? Huh? What? Are we
here?
Did we just spend an hour?
This is too complicated.
Didn't we just spend an hour preparing?
It's as soon as you're ready, the Facebook kicks you out, and then the trackpad won't load, and then I'm too Sasquatchy for my mic. It's just a whole cavalcade.
You do have that Sasquatch.
I do. I'm just hair and red.
Today.
Sorry.
This is
I'm all right. So I've had a Red Bull today.
Yeah, we need to get you a decaf Red Bull.
Yeah, we should, but I'll get a headache then.
Oh, that also
because coffee is a psychoactive, addictive compound. It's an analgesic.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that word means either, but I read it on Wikipedia.
It's a diuretic for sure.
It is a diuretic. I know what that word means. That means you're gonna poop.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact.
I used to work in coffee for many years.
He's a big man of the coffee industry.
Yeah. Well, I was the little man of the. But anyway.
Oh well, that's.
Today's topic, we're going to talk about comedy, actually, because I just got paid for my first real club gig. Yay, got a check. So I was pretty happy. I'm going to frame that as, I've worked at the clubs before, but and I've actually did get paid by the Improv before, but that was for producing.
Yeah.
But this is the first time where I just got paid just to show up, do my thing, and then leave.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, and my words paid for breakfast.
I love it.
And a little bit of this coffee, not the full thing.
Not the full thing.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I always say crime and entertainment don't pay well.
No,
I think maybe crime pays better eventually, but you usually get caught.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, well, here's the ironic thing. It's more expensive for a cup of coffee than a dose of heroin in the streets of L.A. right now.
Yeah.
Starbucks, what are you doing to us? Make the coffee cheaper. We'd rather have hobos caffeinated than on methamphetamine and heroin. Sorry, I mixed up my drugs.
No, but it's meth and well, maybe.
There we go.
Yeah, there you are.
Meth and heroin.
Meth and heroin. The way I look at it is, coffee is a drug for sure, and I mean I wouldn't buy it like every day if it wasn't.
I know. I can't. I literally can't go. If I forget, and I have to remember because I don't think about it. But if I forget, I will get a headache by about 3 PM. It'll last till 6 or 7, sometimes all night. Mm-hmm. And it's terrible. Well, I got to wean myself off it. If I have to go down from the coffee to the teas.
Yeah.
And then down from 2 teas to 1.
I consider tea the methadone of caffeine. it's just to get you, kind of wean you down.
It's the methadone.
It's the methadone of caffeine. It's not. You're not
Those Americans mainlining their caffeine. It's not civilized. We just have tea. It's the caffeinated methadone of the British Empire. And that's why the sun finally set on the British Empire, their tea wasn't enough for our coffee.
That's right. Our coffee
English queen.
But you can get cheap coffee at 7-Eleven that's not ridiculously expensive.
You can.
It just doesn't taste good.
No, it's just painful to your soul. I know. I feel you. I try and do coffee bean and tea leaf because Starbucks, the devil, Bobby Boucher, Starbucks backwards is scub rats. Just so you know. No, but there's never any coffee bean and tea leaf around. They're like
there is one around here, but it's a bit of a walk.
Yeah, that's the thing about Starbucks. They're everywhere. They're a better drug dealer.
They're a better drug dealer. They're a lot like drug dealers. They're just like, hey, you want to?
And that fish woman with her fish legs out there. You seen the Starbucks fish?
That's true.
Look at the. Can you see it on that here?
She's a mermaid. I don't know.
She's a siren.
She's a siren?
She's a siren.
Oh.
She is a siren. You know what a siren is, right?
From the Odyssey?
Yeah, I believe that's where it emanates from. They sing the sailors in and then kill
murder them.
Yeah. That's what Starbucks has as their mascot. It's a siren. I thought it was a mermaid, too. I asked one of the workers. They're like, no, it's the siren song of our coffee.
Yeah. I'm addicted. I'm actually addicted more to the ritual of getting coffee than the actual coffee. I enjoy just going in and talking to the people and going, hey, can I get my actually now I just order on the app, which is
there you go,
which is actually
a whole new ritual.
It's a different ritual.
Silicon Valley's getting in on that Starbucks addiction action.
Yeah, and then I I do talk to them though, because they're people.
Yeah, they are.
And I worked at coffee shops for so long before.
No, I'm with it. This is called comedy. You can make jokes about stuff without this. I mean, I'm gonna spend $5 there today. I gotta write some articles this afternoon.
Yeah.
They get me. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, there is a ritual to it. You walk in, you say hi to the barista.
Yeah, and they're usually nice because they have to be.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm okay with forced niceness.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
I'm forced to be nice on stage.
Right?
Most of the time.
Bringing it around to comedy. Sorry, I rabbit trailed us there, y'all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's what the show is just I don't know why we just go off. My brain just doesn't stay on one thing. I think I have a lazy ADD.
Lady D. I'm
Lady D. Yeah.
I understand, man. I'm not autistic. I'm just really smart and really lazy. I got half-ass burgers.
Hey.
Unless it's a clean show. Then I got butt sandwiches.
Stupid. I like that cleanup. You're like, well, I can't.
Right, you can't really.
But so I did that gig at the Ice House yesterday. It was awesome. Got to hang out with Rick Izquierda.
Oh yeah, I saw him last year at the Big Pine Comedy Festival doing it. Well, I can't say yet, but the Big Pine Comedy Festival. He's great. He had a documentary about being a comedian.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I'm actually going to have him on here, but an interesting life, cool story, and a genuinely nice guy.
He's a good guy
that likes doing comedy, and even though the business is, we all know how it is.
I don't even know if he'd remember me. I talked to him for a little interchange. I saw the movie. I thought it was good.
All right. I've seen The Rough because he let me view it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. Like
I wanted more when it was done.
Yes, which is a sign of a good film. Yeah, and so, but I got to hang out with him last night and a bunch of other comics.
And there's a point at it I remember where you can hear Nick Garres' frightening laugh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but he was doing his cackle. He's got a hilarious. He's a funny dude. He's got a hilarious cackle.
Yeah, I know he got the only thing I remember. The latest thing I remember from Nick. This is a while ago now, but he got punched in the face.
What?
Yeah, by Willie Barcena.
Oh no, poor guy. That's rough.
Yeah, who knows? He might have been drunk. You know how people are.
I don't know. I don't rush to judgment on any of those things.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I've been punched in the face.
Yeah, I've gotten punched in the face myself.
I've punched some faces.
Yeah,
there's been some punchery going around. Stuff happens, I just try not to judge on it because you're like, well, sometimes the guy did deserve it. Sometimes he didn't. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
One thing I do think, we get too dang crazy on the whole. Our society has just neutered everybody. I don't think we should go around with 6-shooters, but I think it'd probably be a little bit better if we're willing to sometimes back up what we say.
Yeah, I had a crazy incident earlier this morning when I was coming in. Actually, I was just going to get breakfast, but I saw there's this dude. I don't know what was going on because there's a lady walking and there's dude was walking next to her, and I thought, oh, maybe they're together, but he seemed a little weird and erratic. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, and she didn't give me the eyes of hey, I'm in trouble. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do anything. And he tried to give me the eyes, and he had his shirt off or whatever, and I'm like, this guy just seems weird, but.
You know what I had happen? I was talking to my mom in an alley, just on the phone.
Oh.
Well, I need to This is why I always speak in paragraphs, because just condensing the information leaves too many questions. I was talking to my mom on the phone on an alley, and there's a meth head tweaking out. He was a built dude, but he was mean mugging me, and I don't even know if he knew his mouth was moving.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was walking and I was talking, and he'd come back. He's like, yeah, man, you better fucking move on. You better keep on moving. You better, I'll kick your ass. And I looked at him. I met his eyes, and I started walking forward. And he's like, yeah, man, you better. And he skittered off and hid behind a car somewhere.
Yeah.
And he kept looking at me, and I kept looking at him. So I was like, is he gonna try something? I don't want him to get me from behind. I don't want him to come get me unaware.
Yeah.
But it was. There's some weird people around here.
Oh yeah, especially
it seems in the last month or two, it's gotten worse or something.
Yeah, I feel like the crazy ones from up north are starting to come down here more, and
Is
they're
that what it is?
they're a little bit the homeless people
From like San Francisco.
San Francisco are a little more violent than the ones here.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more crime that happens up there.
I saw a dude pissing on something right in the open twice yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Twice, though. I haven't seen it yet. Usually I see him behind a dumpster or something, but like right on the street.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy passed out in the grass by the 7-Eleven off of Ocean Boulevard or whatever after it goes off Pico. There's a guy with his ass hanging out full of dirt just right in the grass.
Yep. I've seen that. I've seen that many times.
I mean, yeah, for me, it seems like it's encroaching because...
yeah, it does feel...
Yeah, it's like, because I've been here almost 3 years now. Not quite, but like... Just the last month or two, it has gotten a few levels of magnitude higher than it was, and it was already bad.
Yeah, it was bad, but they were more chill.
Yeah,
and they just kind of did their thing, and you know they weren't as aggressive. They've gotten more aggressive lately.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's just it's an odd an odd thing, but
it's one of the reasons I haven't shaved. That I'm not a bellicose, warlike guy. Yeah. I don't want to fight, but people see the beard and they're like, oh, okay. And I just look at them, they're like, oh.
Do you have your accordion too while you're walking around?
Oh, that chases them away. Oh, they think the demon out of the acid trip manifested in the real world.
It's like, help, Weird Al's after me.
Come back, I want to tell you my jokes. No, not another bad pun. Not another dad joke. No. Yeah.
Although, I got to say, you got to love Weird Al, right?
I do love Weird Al.
Because he's just a goofy, he knows what he is.
Oh, I was making fun of me. I was making fun of Weird Al.
Okay.
Weird Al's great. He doesn't do a lot of puns. He does, but like he's just
you
goofy.
do a lot of puns.
I do too many puns. But here's the thing, like
maybe that's why you get punched in the face.
There's a pun in there before the ched. But punched. I just put that's not how you say punched, whatever. I've realized that a lot of my humor is collateral, and I've just leaned into it.
Like damage?
Well, so I'll tell a joke. I'll be like, if a small duck's called a duckling and a small goose is called a gosling, when a midget takes a dump, is that a dumpling? Yeah, right? It's fun. It's stupid. Thank you. Yeah, but if they don't laugh, I'll be like, I'm doing another hour of just that. I've got 20 more bad midget jokes. And then I tell one or two, and I was like, you thought I was kidding. See, so I just play off of it.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because it is goofy. And here's the thing. A lot of comedy these days, here's what it is. Well, I can't get laid, but I know what the world's about, and I'm a single sad sack in my 20s who does a lot of drugs, and aren't I funny, but don't I know that the politics are BS, and I'm cool, and I know, and you should listen to me. And it's the girls are like, oh, I'm gonna kill my kids, and men are stupid, and my vagina, and you got the larger dudes who are like, I'm so fat, and everybody makes fun of me because and then you got some dudes like, I'm from another country, and you Americans are very weird. Look at you weird people, you weird white people. Oh, you fucking weird white people, you straight white males. And it's all so incidentally, ironically homogenous. It seems like it's diverse, but it's all the same stupid thing. And so all I'm trying to do is something totally different, which is make people laugh about whimsical things that are so we can forget. I have my beliefs, but I don't think my comedy is about, maybe I will collaterally or obliquely refer to something, but my comedy is more about providing a setup and a punchline that's goofy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's more of that coming out. I mean, I've seen your stuff. You've got some whimsical stuff. I mean, you got some serious stuff too.
Serious, but I try to keep it whimsical. Like last night, I did my heroin stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but I kept it in a way.
Yours isn't. Look at me. I'm this hip philosopher elite to listen to. Yours is like, hey guys, this is life, and it's still kind of funny.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to like raise the table because I realized that we can raise the table.
Oh, can we raise the table?
I gotta. It's not on.
All right. How does it work?
Well, all right, this is. Oh my goodness! Something happened. All right.
What happened?
I turned a switch.
Oh.
This is great radio, by the way, where I'm just like ruining life. What? Oh.
Oh, you mean it's a it's a. Whoa.
Is that too high?
That was really cool. No, that's perfect actually. I like it. That's perfect.
But yeah,
I can actually put this down now.
Yeah. We can.
Here.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was we Jerry rigged that well.
Yeah, I'm not a professional sometimes.
You're more pro than I am in a lot of ways. I love it.
But so anyway, back to comedy. So
yes,
you actually just encapsulated everything that I know that if there was a sketch about what comedy is right now in 2019, that would be it.
Yeah.
Because it is either those are the archetypes right now, and I see it everywhere. Open mics, I see it at clubs. I see it on the road. Everybody does. Or another one that bothers me, and people go, "Where's my whatever at?"
Yeah.
Insert group here.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't actually make me mad.
I try an inverse, not subverse, but inverse. It's like subversion has become overt subversion to tell the truth.
Thank you, Marty. Sorry, someone said nice show, Marty Feldman, Fiddleman. Sorry.
Oh, I like him.
Yes, and I apologize for messing up your name. But anyway, yeah, you.
Oh, the things are so. The subversion has become so mainstream that in order to tell the truth, you have to subvert subversion. A negative times a negative is a positive.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I hope you weren't being ironic with the nice show because
No. He's a good guy.
Okay,
I know
cool,
him. He's
cool.
He's up in Simi Valley. He runs a room at MD Grill, and it's very good. It's
Nice.
a fun room. Yeah,
Nice.
If you get a chance, you should go check it out.
Should go check it out. But so, but you're right. People, there is expectation, especially in comedy. They expect a certain thing, so that we're gonna expect. Oh, you're this guy, so it's gonna be X. And as a comedian, as someone that tries to make people laugh, you have to subvert that actually, and throw them off.
Yeah, it's the bait and switch, not the bait and switch, but the misdirection of the magician. That's what a lot of setups are. That's why magicians and comedians tend to get along. Neither of us get laid, and we do the same. Sorry, magicians, but you know
it's true.
You know,
my brother was a magician. It didn't work. That's why I became a director.
Right. It was an illusion. The magician thing.
It was just an illusion.
No, I love magic. I get a kick out of it.
Me too, actually.
When I was a kid, but I tell you what, it's rough. But we're very similar. The difference is magicians, they got to spend a lot more. It's like being a musician with performance entertainment. Like you have to practice your musical pieces.
Yes.
They have to practice that sleight of hand and stuff to perfection.
Hours upon hours upon hours upon hours.
I can't even walk through a room without tripping over my own 2 feet. So I definitely respect that.
I turned off the lights on this show. That's what I did when I was trying to raise the table.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Okay.
Not right now, but remember earlier?
Yeah.
Where like it was only that one. Luckily.
Oh, I'm seeing what you're saying now. I'm seeing my brain. Yeah. Right. As comedians, it's not like we actually we don't have to be graceful.
Yeah. No. I don't. Yeah. But the problem is because we're in comedy.
Yeah.
We see the magic trick first. That's why comedians are the worst audience, and in many ways, it makes you perform like kind of. There's a trap in performing for comedians too much, and that your material gets to a point where
you become jaded.
Yes, and you can't. There's no like joy. You have to have joy when you perform.
You really do. Yeah.
Because people can see it, and people have told me like when they watch me perform, like you're just so happy up there. I'm like, well, yeah, it's the only time I actually. I'm having a great time. Like
it's the best thing ever to perform. I mean, I got a degree in theater. I enjoy being in a play. Stand-up comedy is hands down better.
Yeah.
I've got a few albums out. I've been in half a dozen bands. I've done many performances. Comedy's always better.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been a starring role in a movie, but I've done like background work, and I've been in like independent stuff, and that's fun. It can be fun to let yourself go there. But that, honestly, that's backbreaking work a lot. Comedy, I work out a lot when I'm going 100 miles an hour on that stage. It's like I ran 2 miles. I sweat.
Yeah.
But it's more fun. It's enervating. It's especially if you're having a good set. And when you have a bad set, it sucks. But you can, drink yourself to oblivion. And no, I don't endorse that. But you've got an excuse. You've got a great excuse right there. So that's one reason comics have trouble. I don't endorse that as a joke.
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't endorse drinking yourself to oblivion. I have done it.
Yeah,
more than my share of times.
It happens.
It happens. I drank a little last night. I'm back to drinking again.
Yeah.
Well, I took some time off.
It's good to take time. And moderation's the key. That's all.
Yeah,
moderation.
But I only had a couple drinks last night, so I didn't go. Like, I don't black out anymore.
Good.
Those days are long gone.
Yeah.
So now, I just drink a few, and it was only after my set
That's a smart way to do it.
I drink, because I can't drink really before. I want to be present in the moment, so you can't just be like, I mean, some people can be drunk, but that's just not me.
Yeah.
And I realized a long time ago that it makes me.
Well, and here's the thing: if you get to where you're comfortable doing that, there will come a time when you can't do that in your show, but you'll need the money, and you'll be off. It'll knock you out. It's like you were talking about earlier today with baseball and pitching analogies.
Mm-hmm.
When you're setting up and delivering a joke, you're delivering a pitch.
Yes. Absolutely.
Whether you're the batter or the pitcher, there is pinpoint accuracy necessary. Mm-hmm. And a pitcher and a batter don't think of the calculus behind the geometry of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They do it until they know it at a instinctive level.
Yes.
And comedy's very similar. You pitch that joke out, the way you time it, who you look at, and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you comment on the audience, mm-hmm. or whether you just move right on. Sometimes you need to ignore the waitress, even though she's messing up your joke. Yeah. Sometimes you need to call her out and make a joke out of it. And it's difficult because if you do it at the wrong time, you can piss off the whole club. If you do it at the right time, you could get a bonus. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were sorry. I hijacked you again.
No, it's fine. But the pitching analogy, we talked about that off the air, but I think it is very true. Where, because I talked about this at the club last night too with the comics. I was like, it's very much doing a good joke is a lot like pitching, because you have to know when you're throwing, what you're throwing, and where and when you're throwing it at the right times, and also which pitch for this particular, because every audience, just like every batter or whatever, if you're pitching, is different. So you have to understand everyone's. I'm trying to think. I can't think of words. Their tendencies.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So
and if you've been drinking beforehand, that's what we were on.
Yes.
That's going to mess up your pitch. That's going to mess up your bat. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: if you were doing it and it's foreign to what you're doing, then it'll mess you up. But if it's not foreign to what you're doing, then not doing it'll mess you up.
Yes, and that was the biggest thing when I stopped drinking for the few months that I quit. Just not quit, but just I was like, let me take a break. I want to get healthier and get actual sleep. So it took me like a good couple of weeks to even how am I gonna do this?
Right.
And now I actually prefer being in the moment, because even though it does suck to feel like because you bomb, everyone bombs.
Oh, there's no way around it.
It doesn't hurt as bad as you think, and then you're quickly over it. I think, because especially at our, we've been doing this a little bit now.
Well, and the more sober you are, the more you can honestly give an appraisal of what happened, because there are some times when you can't fix something. It's just beyond your. I was having a great set at the Yoo-Hoo Room at Flappers. I was killing it. I
love that room, by the way.
I like it when there's people there. When there's not, it's still okay. But man, when there's people there, that room is roaring because it's about twice the size of this one. Yeah. No exaggeration.
And this is no one can tell because of the green, but it's this little room.
It is. It's little, but you get about 25 people in there. It's full, and they're roaring. And I was having a great set, and the setup was, here was a row of people, and right behind them was a row of people. And these people laughed so hard, their heads came back into these people's drinks, which spilled it all over them.
Whoa.
I was only doing like a 5-minute set. That was like a 3-minute cleanup. So 2 minutes in, my set was over because I did too good. This never happened before.
Wow.
It was just because nobody could pay attention. It's such a small room.
Yeah.
Nobody could pay attention after that.
Yeah.
The drinks were spilled, and the people behind were mad, and the ones up front were still having fun but kind of felt embarrassed, and everybody else was laughing at that, and I was just like the maestro of insanity. Just, all right, I've got 3 more minutes to conduct this music, and then I will go be getting messed up.
Yeah.
That was a good bomb.
That is a good bomb.
Mr. Good bomb.
I gotta say what's up to Jessica Espinosa, or just J1, as she's called. She does the best streams of the games. So that's how I've been watching all the Dodger games, because you can't watch Dodger games in LA.
What?
Unless you buy the Dodger sports package.
Well, that's not how you make fans.
I know. No, but that is stupid. You used to be able to watch it on TV.
You can't even watch it on TV?
I have to go to a bar, or I prefer actually watching it.
Wow.
With the.
Now that's fascism.
I know. But I prefer now watching it on Facebook.
Wow.
Because especially Jessica, her grandparents are always in there, and they're hilarious people. They're just like so funny and cool. And I'm like, this is actually more fun than if I went to a bar.
Collateral positive.
It's making a cool group. She has this group, and we always do this joke about like if the players are doing bad, it's like get the chancla, which is the sandal, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's chancla time. So that's her little joke, and she's actually making shirts and like she's. Awesome.
Cool.
So shout out to her, and Stephen Mybeck is in here too, a buddy of mine from back when we used to do work at Coffee Bean together back in the days when I was still, a new.
You were a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf man?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was there for.
I knew I liked something about you.
Way too long, but Stephen Mybeck was great, and we'd hang out, we'd go bar hopping, and he's just a fun dude. He's up in the Bay Area now.
Oh wow.
He's a Giants fan, so hey, but we're friends.
Cool.
Also, because he's huge, and why I would never want to start a fight with him. He's actually saved my ass from getting into fights.
That's fun.
Because I get a little mouthy when I drink. I'm a little guy, and but he would always be behind me, and if people got mad, they'd be like, never mind. So Steven was great, and he's a supporter of my comedy, so I love that guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, Jessica. Yeah, you are awesome, Jessica. J1. You were the best streams. I look forward to her streams. There's other people that do streams, and I'll watch them if hers isn't up, but.
I need to get more up on that stuff. I usually I'm very ADD in the things I look at online, but I do like a good stream when I can find it. And speaking of ADD, we're doing comedy, right?
We're trying to,
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about comedy today because I just had an awesome time last night, and and where I work. I mean, I work at comedy management company, so I get to like see the all sides of it now. I get to see like what the pros do versus like I'm just coming up. I'm new, but I'm not. Like I've been in it for a long time, but I'm still learning the ropes. And so I have this unique perspective, and I just want to talk about it because I think it's fun.
I love it. Yeah, and it's good. You're in an ideal position, not only to advance your career, but also to give people necessary insight they're interested in about how this works on either side. I like that a lot.
Well, and I've experienced Ty Rivera. Shout out to him.
Oh, he's fun. I've met him, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe the name's familiar.
He's an awesome comic that I used to got to know here in LA, and he had the work ethic. He would go out like 3 times a night, just even if it was open mic, didn't matter what it was. Show, open mic, doesn't matter. Just show up, do the thing, write every day. And now he's touring and stuff. So
that's the thing you got to do. You got to keep at it. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot more than anybody anticipates, and it's rough because if you are good at comedy and you keep doing it a couple of years, then you know that comedy isn't your main bread and butter, which means ideally you're working multiple jobs.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that last night in the green room. The comics, they're like, oh yeah, thank goodness there's like. Uber Eats and all these other Grubhub and stuff to make money. I'm like, I got lucky and I don't have to do that anymore. But I've done that. I've had to like, make ends meet while you're trying to chase a dream, and it's.
I mean, I write content online, and it's a godsend, but it is not fun. It's work. It's real work. Sometimes I can have fun with it. I try and make it enjoyable, but. It's a grind. It allows me to do what I need to do, and it really is a godsend. Without that, I mean, I'm making enough. I'm blessed. A lot of people don't have that option. Of course, I can't do the Uber or anything because I had a DWAI in 2011.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can never do it.
Oh, because of that one.
Because of that one.
Even though
I've never had a relapse, had any problems, I got through all my stuff. I can never do it, and the reason is it stays on my record in Colorado, and Colorado never takes it off your record ever.
Oh, because California after 10 years. It goes.
But it happened in Colorado, so it's never going to come off my record. And the corporation, even though I haven't had any trouble, it's been almost 10 years. They said no. So I'd have to have it expunged from my record so that when they looked me up, it didn't pop up. But I can't get it expunged either.
Oh, wow. The Colorado just sounds like a bummer of a place sometimes.
Yeah,
it's like
is.
Canada.
Colorado.
Canada, you can't, if you have a DUI, you can't get in.
Yeah, I can't get into. Here's how I get around that. It's $2,000. However, I've heard some things especially given how poorly the country's being run
right now
up there. Yeah, I think they're letting more people in. I think you just have to grease the right palm, and it's going to be less than $2,000 if I really want to do it. But I don't know. I looked into it about a year ago because there's a guy in Niagara Falls who saw my America's Got Talent, and he liked it a lot, and he wanted me to come up and do some time. I'd love to, but I can't do it unless I can come into the country legally. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless.
Yeah, especially if it's paid opportunities. You got to follow the letter of the law on that one.
Absolutely. So I've got to go through a legal office. I've got to pay him $2,000, and I don't know. It's a mess up. It was my bad. My bad. But I mean,
I have one. I'm not proud of it.
Right?
Yeah, I talked about it on the stream before, or I don't know if I've talked about it on. But I've
comics who can do Uber Eats and whatnot. They that's how you know they're new. They haven't got a DUI yet. I'm just kidding, but it's kind of true. It's like, well, yeah. I don't know. Do you know any comics who?
Most comics I know, especially a lot of higher ups have DUIs.
Yeah,
most of them just because you get free drinks. Like either the audience likes you and they buy you a drink, or the club will just give you drinks.
Or you fail and steal a bottle. Somehow you're gonna
you're getting free drinks, and trouble happens.
It's just fact.
And that now I just Uber everywhere, so it won't happen again.
Well, I've been doing the RV thing, so I can go out and fall asleep right where I've parked. I just try and strategize it that way.
Yeah.
That's been helping me. But I've just cut down my drinking a lot and tried to be more moderate about it. And that's the thing with comedy. Is it's an occupation where if you're really good at it, you're not going to be recognized, and you're going to have to live in the bottom of a gutter for years on end and do your best not to be turned into the other detritus in that gutter so that you can get pulled out of it and make a career out of it. Nobody's going to understand you. And when you do good, nobody will know. And when you do bad, or if you do good, you're going to have to fight with your peers a lot. A lot of other comics are like rats. They're stab you right in the back. You got to do this for years. So it's hard. It's very, I understand why a lot of comedians end their lives, and it's sad.
That is really sad.
It is sad.
Because I just saw something about Brody Stevens.
Yeah.
And for any of you that don't know, Brody Stevens was an amazing comic in L.A.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know him. I know of him.
I didn't know him either. I never got a chance. I only met him briefly at the Improv because I was meeting with Rita over there because I was trying to do a show, and he was there, and I didn't know who he was. I never so I don't have a personal story or anything, but it does make me a little. I hate to bring the show down,
right.
But it's really sad when good people like that, like the really funny people, didn't quite get recognized. Funnier than most of the comics that he opened for.
Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna get on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of you got to have something that's your raison d'etre, your reason to be, your identity that isn't solely comedy, even if you're excellent at it, because it is cutthroat, and if you are artistically pure, that is going to hurt you worse than anything because there's so many people who aren't. And what happens is the cream does rise, and that which is synthetic will sink under it'll implode on itself given time. It's a war of attrition, but I think it takes a minimum of 10 years for a lot of the crap to go away. That's what Steve Martin thought in his book, Born Standing Up.
Absolutely. It takes
a minimum. And then a lot of guys, Louis C.K. didn't hit till he'd been at it 20 years, and then he, jerked out of that position. Sorry, Louis. I still think you're funny, but that's I have to say that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel your pain, man.
You made a hilarious mistake.
You made a... right.
I mean, it's also weird. Like,
it is a weird one.
Why would you want to do that? But
I don't know. Did you know he is Hispanic?
Yeah, he was born in. Was he born in Mexico, or is his father Mexican? I don't know, but I know he grew up
I thought the guy was just a pissed off redheaded Irish dude. I thought
so, but no. He's I forget. He used to be able to speak Spanish. I don't know if he still can, but he was in Mexico for a minute.
There's only one way he can keep speaking Spanish.
Uh-huh.
He has to recharge his Hispanic bit, and he can only do it if someone sees it. So that's all he was doing, guys. He was recharging his lingual batteries in the only metaphysical way. I'm kidding. That's horrible. That's horrible. I didn't mean to get us off on that.
Yeah, I don't know where that was, but okay.
Well, some people, it takes them years and years to climb up that chain. And what I was trying to say is that deep down you have to make your reason for being more than just comedy, because even if you're the best at it, it's only for a season. It may be a long season, George Carlin managed to keep doing it his whole life. A lot of comedians, they'll do it 30, 40 years, and then other things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, I to avoid the suicide thing, for me, one of the biggest things is my identity is built around God. Now, I know I was being a little dirty. I wasn't trying to be gross.
I know. Yeah. Well, mine is too, though.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because that is something that's stationary, and even though we're imperfect, he's there,
much so.
And he's got a sense of humor,
Yeah.
or we wouldn't be put in these situations that demand a joke or insanity, and he knows we're going to do the joke because he's seen the end from the beginning. So for whatever the reason, whether or not this is going to be until I'm George Carlin's age or just for a season, he wants me doing comedy. I know that.
Yeah.
So since my identity is in that, if things don't go how I'd like here or are depressing, I can avoid being caught in that psychological downward spiral, which sucks people into the momentary. It only happens briefly. The momentary delusion that there is nothing better and I should end it is a mood. It is a season. It's a storm of weather. It's not the totality of things.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I liken it to it's like a breakup where it feels like things are terrible and it's never going to get better. But if you just keep going, you eventually learn like, oh, no, there's other people, there's other things, there's other opportunities in life.
That's true. I mean, because the thing is, nobody's perfect. And I want to find a gal and settle down and be married with her. And I know when that happens, there's going to be ups and downs. There will be peaks and valleys. Things are going to go great, and then there's going to be the worst experiences either of us have had, and then the best experiences either of us has had.
Yeah.
Because it's the next level in humanity is when you complete yourself with another individual.
Yeah.
And then the two of you grow even deeper in your spiritual reality. And you bring other lives into the world and become a bastion of your community and facilitate greater growth. A nuclear family, I mean, the Rothschilds did it the bad way, but the potentiality of a single family over time is what they've lived out. Now, you can do it a good way or you can do it a bad way. There's affluent families who haven't done horrible things for the world. You don't hear about them as much. They're not infamous. They're not hated. They're very quietly in the background doing things right and supporting community. A lot of them are in the Midwest. A lot of farmers are that way. I mean, a farm's going to bring in $1 million a year, and that doesn't necessarily translate to the lifestyle we'd expect because there's a lot of expenses.
Farming is expensive.
It's expensive, yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, but there are some guys who have a few generational farms. It just started with one family, stayed in the family 3 or 4 generations, and now it is, like you see like a Hillcrest Farms or something. That's probably one of those situations. And those people are doing good from a nuclear family, staying together, working together, putting in. And so that's the potentiality we can be at. And if we get all caught up in that one relationship that went sour, we can prevent ourselves from finding the one that will go good.
Yeah, that's it. What it does is blind you.
It does.
From seeing what could potentially be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that even with negative emotions, like, for example, when things are going bad and you're looking at life, you're looking at it through a negative lens, so you're going, oh, no, this is how it's going to be. Well, just like good things are fleeting, bad things are also fleeting.
Amen to that.
Life is always changing, so it's never just like, oh, things are always good or always bad. It's ups and downs. It's like the stock market,
Yeah, it is the bears and the bulls, Some days the bears get you, sometimes you get the bear. That bull gores that medved. Это русский язык слово for the bear is medved. Medved's a word for bear in Russian.
Oh, okay, because we just got taken over by the Russians.
Извините, пожалуйста.
Hashtag,
please.
Hashtag, well, I don't know, whatever.
Hashtag нет мне тоже, not me too.
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, but yeah, the life does go up and down. There's peaks and valleys, and generally, I think the trend is sort of like an upward thing. So, like, okay, let's see if So you go up, and then crap, and then you go up, and then crap, and then now the knockdown from here to here, it's bad, but it's not as bad as the knockdown from here to here was.
Yeah,
and you keep doing that, and the problem is because we're in the moment, we forget about that. When I'm having a bad day now, it seems so much worse. But if I think back, wait, no, I had a way worse day back there.
Yeah. That's the problem with living in the moment. Right, I just thought of that right now. That is the problem, is that you forget. You need the experiences to realize, no, things are better.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, all we have is it's a weird dichotomy reality, because there's multiple truths, and a lot of the things we're told are half truths, and we resonate with them because we see the half that's true and swallow the lie that's false because we like the half that's true. So here's the truth. If you totally live your life just in the moment, it'll mess you up. But at the same time, all we have is this moment. We don't know where the future is, and the past is in a mire. It's back there. It's our memory, but we can't change it.
Yeah.
We don't know what's up here. We can't change that. All we have right now is this second. So this second is the closest thing to eternity. We are living in the moment, but if our ideology is to live in the moment, then that precludes the potential, and that ignores the setup. And so it limits us by at least 2/3 of what is total reality. So we're in the moment, but our focus can't be the moment entirely, because then we miss the total picture.
I think my mind just got blown.
I just hope I said something that makes sense. I don't know, you know.
And this man doesn't do mushrooms.
I do not.
That was all just off the dome.
That was just off the dome. That was off the dome. I do have a joke, though. I don't do mushrooms except sporadically. But I don't do them. But that's I like that pun. But yeah, so the moment right now, what we need to focus on isn't simply existing. It's that which pushes our existence, the raison d'être, the reason for existence, the reason to be. We are in the moment. That's all we have, but there's a reason, and what we need to do is go about accomplishing that purpose rather than just focusing on the sensuousness. Because if all you do is focus on the senses of the moment, you're like, I've got cotton mouth, my hands hurt a little bit, I'd like to think of some boobs, there's a drink somewhere I could have, oh my goodness, you're pure ADD. Because the moment keeps shifting, your mind keeps looking at different things. You get there's such a thing as choice paralysis, and if all all you do is concentrate on the moment, But if you're like, okay, here's all these things, here's where I am, and I'm looking straight on, I'm going somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
why I always say, like, have a goal in life, and it doesn't have to be some grand thing. Like, you don't have to be. I want to make it as a comic. That's my particular goal, but that's not the only thing I do every day. Like, I have other goals, like learn how to create content, learn how to do X, learn how to be a better editor, learn how to be a this. It's a lot of smaller goals, and that keeps you focused. Right. And that actually makes life a little better, I think, personally, for myself.
Well, I forget I'm in LA sometimes. Like, I'm from Wyoming. There's 500,000 people in the state of Wyoming, 570,000 something now. That's within a square mile of where I'm standing. There's that many people. Yeah, easy. There's probably more than that. Yeah. It's a futuristic megalopolis down here. I started in Wyoming, got my degree, went to Iowa, went down to Colorado, lived there about 8 years. Then I came out here. Now, I have gains and losses out here, but I'm still doing showcases and meeting people and making contacts and making impressions and doing different things. Every week I do something out here in LA. It's like a month or two that I spent in Colorado, but it doesn't feel that way. Yeah, because I forget. To a certain extent, you forget. It's like if you experience something supernatural, it will fade in your memory until you forget it happened, even though you had this profound experience. I had an experience once. I've had them positive and negative spiritual experiences. One time I was in college, and I'm sure some of the folks listening, I don't know how many are listening here, but there's something called sleep paralysis. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of that, and there's a great documentary about that it seemed really scary.
It's fascinating stuff. See, the thing is, the scientists try to ignore the metaphysical for a materialistic explanation. And it doesn't quite work because the phenomena which aren't directly measurable are yet perceivable continuously over multiple eras.
Well, the scientists have autism.
Right? They're like, no. I cannot measure the time. And it's weird what they're autistic about. That's the thing, though. There is such a thing. Like the sleep paralysis is when you have generally a state of terrible fear, and they say it's a brain condition that you can't move from. Yeah. But I've had it 2 times, and the first time I thought it might have been a dream. The second time I was totally conscious and wrote about it, and I could not move, and I didn't see a demon sitting on my chest, but my brain was filled with images of the grotesque, macabre, death-related things that had eyelids that went up like this, and they would come down and be a black eye and stuff. And I was looking out of my eyes and seeing my dorm room and noting the time, and I prayed, and it went away. But I had something where, like, I couldn't move. Like, I could, but I couldn't. Like, I could make my hand move, but I couldn't get up. But I could, but I couldn't. It was very strange.
That is weird. And that sounds scary, too.
It was. And it was in college. And honestly, it was this sense that I needed to give in to it, and I didn't. But that was sort of like what was being presented to me as the door out of this fear, was this just lean into it. Sometimes you do lean into stuff. Not that was evil. Yeah. It was sort of, and I think I think there is such a thing as a spiritual root, like maybe imagine a demon fishing with a metaphysical line and getting a hook in you, something like that. And if you give in, the pain stops because you're being reeled in.
Got it. I don't want to take away from this moment, but my vision of a demon fishing was it had little vests and the hat and the fishing pole.
Yeah, he's got a little tail.
With this little demon kid.
And now you got to get the humans this way. Yeah, here's what you do with your bait. You see this? Here's some marijuana. And he just throws it out.
Like Andy Griffith.
He's like reeling in some dude with like a Playboy magazine. He's just like reeling him in. He's just like holding on to it and just flopping there.
I don't know why that's my first thought. It wasn't like a scary demon. It was like a silly like dad demon.
Well, that's the thing, and Benjamin talks about that. The devil's funny. He knows funny. That's unfortunately. Now, God's created humor. The devil knows how to subvert humor, and in the comedy world, this is why there's a lot of comedy philosophers. Is to do comedy, you have to understand something about the core human condition.
Yes, you have
do.
To. Yeah.
So the comedy world, there's two kinds of comedy. Well, maybe there's not two kinds of comedy. There are several means of eliciting laughter that are defined as comedy. I wonder if one truly is. One form of eliciting laughter defined as comedy involves satire and stating present beliefs of the group in a way that excludes or demonizes or belittles the other group. And it's called punching down, but at the same time, it's done politically. And ironically, the people who will usually get angriest about punching down are the ones who do it the hardest.
Oh, okay.
And that's what a lot of political comedy is. That's what a lot of the hipster sort of thing is. It isn't really comedy. They're just getting up there and they're satirically, tongue-in-cheek, sort of jibing at the other political ideologies, like, oh, at least I'm not some stupid blah, blah, blah. Oh, look at me. I'm from the South and I'm retarded. Yeah, those people shouldn't vote. You know what I mean? And that's a mockery type of comedy that it's not comedy. It's eliciting a laugh response because that's what is approved to laugh at socially in a psychological sense by the group. But that's not actually humor. That's not presentation of a concept and portraying it in a way that authentically moves someone to mirth. There is a way to authentically move someone to mirth regardless of ideology or psychology or beliefs. And it's just a juxtaposition, a word that fits well, a concept at the right time. You and I are Christian. We don't have a problem laughing at the idea of the demon reeling people in. We're not looking at that as mockery of our faith.
No,
however,
I think it's funny.
There are some that would, even though that's not. It's just a funny picture because it's a juxtaposition of ideas.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas if that juxtaposition of ideas is used as a means of brainwashing, advancing a narrative, driving a point home, etc., it's not true. It's a lie.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So the mockery is a comedy of deception. Whereas authentic comedy is a comedy of truth, which again, it doesn't have to do with your background. The reason it's either funny because it is true or it isn't true.
Yes.
So, and with the demon reeling the thing in on the pole, that was funny because it was true and not true at the same time.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's true that they pull us in, but they're not some wholesome, and that's funny because we know they're not wholesome. You see what I mean? So Jerry Seinfeld said comedy is not truth, and I didn't believe him, but then I was like, no, he's right. Comedy is not truth. Comedy is symbiotic to truth. It either is on the nose or it's away from the truth. The comedy is in the relationship to the concept and truth. So comedy is between, it's like a positive and negative leads, and when they come together, you get a circuit. The electricity is neither the positive nor the negative lead. It's what happens. Truth and the concept make the circuit of the punchline.
Oh, wow. Wow,
The Red Bull has come to me.
That sounded hilarious.
Well, this is the deep psychology, but that
no, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Right. Well, all that to say this, a one-liner like this. I was listening to the radio recently. I think country is just American mariachi music.
That is so true, though.
I love that joke because you can't quite pin down the racism. There is no racism.
No, but that is so true that it really is.
It is, and it's kind of funny, right? Because you're like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. Now, that doesn't make fun of mariachi music.
No.
That doesn't make fun of country music.
Yeah.
It's not racist. But all three of those things comprise together to make the circuit.
Yeah.
So anyway, the people don't always laugh at that. When they don't always laugh at that, then to make the circuit work, I've got to clear off the truth lead by looking at the truth in the room to see if I can get a spark.
Yeah. So this has been.
Has it been an hour already?
Yeah. We're pretty good actually. Yeah, 50. But so I want to thank everyone for listening to us.
Sorry, I don't mean to hijack.
No, the Red Bull is strong with this one. And so I'm gonna be doing this every Saturday around noonish. So please listen, and if you like it, please share it with your friends.
Please share, yes.
And you can find our information down here, because I'm looking at this thing. And so I thank everyone for listening. Thank you all, and have a wonderful weekend. And go Dodgers.